Hello there, welcome to the YouTube channel. Here is the most awaiting news about Oak Island treasure. This is huge. Yes, it is. Lagina said we are just inches away from our success. A success which will shock everyone. Get ready guys, the greatest treasure of the world is now inches far away from us. Despite the number of lives sacrificed on the island, while braving the tumultuous journey of unearthing its bounty, many skilled and talented explorers are still inspired to risk it. Why? Just how close are the Lagina brothers to cracking the case? Read on. The Lagina brothers have never been bothered by the horrific rumors. In fact, their interest in the island's hidden treasure just keeps getting deeper. Rick and Marty were more than determined to get to work and investigate the island further. With the help of state-of-the-art technology, the brothers were able to search not just the fabled money pit, but also other unexplored parts of the island. Find out what keeps them obsessed with cracking this ancient mistito. Discover the mystery for yourself. As a fresh start for their Oak Island journey, the Lagina brothers integrated the modern technology earlier explorers hadn't had access to. When the History Channel learned about the hard work of the Lagina brothers in the Oak Island mystery, the company commissioned a TV show called The Curse of Oak Island. Aside from catering to a bigger audience, the show also helped the siblings raise funds to keep their quest equipped with the necessary resources. Marty had extensive experience with gas wells and digging, and he shared his knowledge and skills with his brother Rick. Marty had worked at a number of different gas wells and so had spent time with a variety of engineering experts. He was able to make use of these connections, enlisting them to serve as professional counsels. One of the brothers' first projects for their show was to dig up a swamp so that they could search further than any explorer who had gone before them. It turned out the swamp revealed their first treasure, a Spanish copper coin dated to the 17th century. This provided evidence that people from Spain had visited the island before. The show enjoyed a successful first 2 seasons, but it was during its 3rd season that the Lagina brothers made their most thrilling discoveries. With the help of experts who assisted them with sonar readings and in draining the borehole 10x, Rick and Marty eventually discovered the island's greatest bounty so far. There's a story to be written up here. Treasure, perhaps, but it's a truly wonderful story from a long time ago. Every day it feels like we're turning a page of a really good book, Rick said. Reflecting on their treasure hunt, he also added that to me, life's a treasure hunt. We're all on one in our own different way, and we happen to be on a real one right now. During the 3rd installment of the show, the Lagina brothers were gifted a French map from the year 1647. The map of Oak Island was illustrated in French and had some valuable facts contained within its contours. The map indicated that an anchor, a valve, and a hatch were in place to help explorers on their quest to find the island's treasure. Believe it or not, the Oak Island mystery even has a connection to the historical Titanic tragedy. There was speculation that Vincent Astor contributed an incredible amount of money to the excavation of Oak Island. It was his strong conviction that led him to donate a massive amount of money, as he was said to have believed that a monumental treasure really exists on the island. The Texas native ordered an aqua dam just like the one used on the show to save his property from the harsh challenges of the flood that came in the wake of Hurricane Harvey. He must have been the only Oak Island fan in the area because his house was the only one on the block that was saved. One lady who thinks she's solved the mystery is Joy Steele. She claims that there are, in fact, more pits than the famous money pit to be found there. These pits, she claimed, were nothing but giant storage vessels for tar that were dug by the British Army to aid in the construction and maintenance of their ships. To add legitimacy to her theory, Joy highlighted various shipbuilding sites in North Carolina that look similar to the Oak Island setup and were famous tar storage pits. Could it be that the answer is nothing more than tar? We'll have and wait for new explorers to try and find the final answer. Now jumping 200 years, at Lot 21 on the western side of Oak Island, the Laginas found a jeweled brooch. This was near where Daniel McGinnis had lived. Was it a treasure he had discovered? Found 90 feet down the money pit was a granite stone, one carved with peculiar symbols. No one has accurately deciphered the code, though one attempt gives the translation 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. The Laginas found 2 iron objects in Lot 21, on the western end of the island. These were later specified as swages, a type of blacksmith tool and dated as far back as the 14th century. The team saw the equipment as evidence of intense mining operations on the island. During the early excavations of the money pit, searchers found large amounts of coconut fiber at a depth of 60 feet. But the nearest coconut trees were 1,500 miles away. A puzzling find. Some believe the fibers could have been used to create rope to lower fortunes. The Laginas found 2 iron objects in Lot 21, on the western end of the island. These were later specified as swages, a type of blacksmith tool, and dated as far back as the 14th century. The team saw the equipment as evidence of intense mining operations on the island. The team recovered 2 fragments at borehole H8 in the money pit area. These were initially identified as human, and later testing showed one was of European ancestry and the other Middle Eastern. At a neighboring borehole, a piece of chain was found coupled with some bone. The team linked this to a theory that after the treasure was buried, some of the slaves who dug the shaft were chained and buried alive. Deep underground, their vengeful spirits would guard the vault and curse any explorers. Whilst the Oak Island Treasure Company was excavating in the late 1800s, they hit a cement-like level 153 feet underground. After drilling through, they found a small parchment. One theory suggests this parchment may originate from a collection of Shakespeare's lost manuscripts, hidden on Oak Island by the true author of Shakespeare's plays, Francis Bacon, the 16th century scientist, writer and explorer and friend of the bard. In 2015, it was reported a fisherman pulled out a Roman sword from the waters by Oak Island. Though this discovery would have rewritten history, putting Romans in North America, this discovery turned out too good to be true. In fact, the sword was a modern replica of a Roman sword, not a 2,000-year-old original. As a result of damming and draining at Smith's Cove, a U-shaped wooden formation was unearthed. Closer inspection revealed Roman numerals. As a result of tree ring testing, the structure was dated to 1769, 25 years before the money pit discovery, with the team speculating that this could have been part of the original treasure shaft. In 1981, Fred Nolan, an Oak Island resident and treasure hunter, discovered 5 large boulders that formed a huge symmetrical cross. Another boulder was found at the center of the cross, with a human face and sword image traits synonymous with Templar tombs. Now known as Nolan's Cross, these boulders might be evidence that an Atlantic fleet of Templars went to Oak Island ... and possibly buried some treasure. A copper coin was found by the team at the island swamp. After taking it to specialists, it was believed to have been made in the 17th century. One theory suggests that Spanish explorers hid a treasure trove instead of giving it to the then king. Was this that treasure? Or was it just dropped by someone else looking for the gold? A lead cross was discovered near Smith's Cove. The team then went to Dama prison in France, where Templar knights were once imprisoned. Religious carvings scattered the wall. Markings included the Virgin Mary, Jesus, and a cross almost identical to the piece found on the island. There were more Templar discoveries, one such being a crossbow bolt found in Lot 26, on the southwest shore. After close examination, the team identified it as medieval, dating it as far back to the 13th century with Templar origin.